of leftist overreach and general leftist nastiness. So yesterday, we played an interview that I did with Charlotte Pence. Charlotte Pence is the charming 24-year-old daughter of the Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence. And Charlotte had a new book that came out, right? And her new book was about her bunny. Okay, it was called Marlon Bundo's Day in the Life of the Vice President. Very innocent, very nice book. I read it to my 4-year-old daughter. It's very charming. It's apolitical. Charlotte is not a political player. Her sister is not really a political player. Her brother is not a political player. You know, Mike Pence is political. That doesn't mean that his kids are political. That doesn't stop the left. So John Oliver, who has apparently decided to make a living out of being an insufferable douchebag, he came out on HBO and not only ripped Pence, he then launched a rival children's book against Charlotte Pence's children's book about a bunny, because this is how nasty so many of the folks on the left have become.
Now, while in many ways Pence is like any other Trump employee, ethically compromised, creeped the f*** out by Jared, and subjected to all sorts of unwanted physical contact, Pence is constitutionally the only official in the White House that Trump can't fire.
The first tell-all book to come out of the current White House is hopping into bookstores. Marlon Bundo, the pet rabbit of Vice President Mike Pence there.
We also wrote a book about Mike Pence's rabbit that has also been published. In fact, while his is out tomorrow, ours is released right now.
Okay, and the book that they created was A Day in the Life of Marlon Bundo, and this book is a book about a gay bunny who's being victimized by a creature called Stinkbug, who's supposed to be drawn like Mike Pence, because, of course, Mike Pence hates gay people. Again, I'm waiting for the evidence that Mike Pence hates gay people, but people on the left just keep suggesting it over and over, so I suppose it must be true. Now, what's even worse is that John Oliver then sicked all of his friends onto Charlotte Pence's Amazon page. So her Amazon page got spammed with nasty reviews. So not from people who had actually bought her book, but from all of the people who were buying John Oliver's books. They all went over there, they spammed her site with a bunch of one-star reviews on a nice, friendly, apolitical children's book. Okay, this is the charming left. They have to attack Mike Pence's daughter's children's book. Now, what's amazing about this is that Chelsea Clinton wrote a children's book also. The right basically left it alone. Okay, her children's book was an openly political book. It was called She Persisted. It wasn't a book about like an animal in the White House and here's what the vice president does all day. It was a book about how Hillary Clinton persisted and women persist and girl power and all this kind of stuff, right? That was political. The right basically left it alone because, hey, it's Chelsea Clinton. Should we really make a big deal out of it? Okay, the left could not even leave alone a book about a bunny. They couldn't even leave alone a book about a bunny because so much of the left's viewpoint is now consumed with the idea that if you disagree with them, that you are a bad person, that you are a terrible, awful, no good, very bad person. So I'm supposed to speak at Susquehanna College tonight. And one of the things that I want to talk about is exactly this tendency on the part of people on the left to attribute nasty motivations to people on the right. We've seen it throughout the gun debate, by the way. We've seen it over and over throughout the gun debate, actually. But it's not just with regard to the gun debate. I mean, we'll show you one clip with regard to the gun debate. So here's David Hogg, who's become, again, just insufferable. He's one of these Parkland students. Obviously, again, for the 1 millionth time, I feel terrible that he witnessed tragedy. But here he is talking about politicians being this is his words, the bitches of the NRA.
What if our politicians weren't the bitch of the NRA?
It doesn't make sense that I have to wait till I'm 21 to get a handgun, but I can get this weapon at 18. I don't know.
We didn't address it, Mr. President, but I think...
You know why? Because you're afraid of the NRA, right?
What if we all voted and said this is not okay?
It was an incredibly exciting election night. In a district, there never should have been a question that the Republicans should have won. They're sending a Democrat from the heart of Trump country.
Voters?
Okay, so now David Hogg is openly stumping for Democrats, and the way he's doing that is by claiming that everybody who disagrees with them is a bitch of the NRA. Okay, this sort of talk is not good for the country. It doesn't allow us to have conversations with one another. There's an open letter written by a student at Susquehanna to me upon my speech tonight, and it's just, again, astonishingly stupid. Okay, here's what this guy writes. He's a student over at Susquehanna College, and he's doing this at Susquehanna University, and he's doing the same thing. His name is Nolan Nightingale. And in just a second, I'm going to read you what Nolan Nightingale has to say about me arriving at Susquehanna, because obviously I'm a bad guy because we disagree. And I will show you that this is